Hey there, this is another great in-depth prep course look brought to you by testprepstore.com. No matter what test you're preparing for, we do everything possible to make your test prep search as easy and informative as possible. With our expansive product database and key comparison pages, discover every great option there is when it comes to prep courses, private tutoring, study guides, and much more across all tests. To keep this great resource available to all future test takers, please remember to utilize our links at testprepstore.com to make your test prep purchase, and be sure to utilize our social media buttons to like and share our website and featured products with your friends and family. They might be searching for test prep just like you. Also, be sure and get your questions answered by industry experts within our forums. All of you are in for a real treat. This is the first video of a 4-video series where we're walking through the GMAT prep process with an individual, and specifically, this individual is taking the Veritas Prep 6-week, twice-a-week, live online prep course. So you're going to get a real in-depth look at exactly what they're going through and how they're evaluating Veritas Prep as a prep course company. The individual that you see on your screen here is Matt, and he's the one who we're going to be going through this GMAT journey with. We've known Matt for quite a while now, and we can say with confidence that he is extremely well respected, both professionally and personally, and we're honored to have him going through this process with us. Alright Matt, welcome. We're extremely thrilled to have you here. How about you give us a brief background of you, both professionally and personally?
About 5 years ago, I graduated college with a bachelor's and my master's degree in accounting, and got my CPA license shortly thereafter. I went on to work in public accounting for about 3 years and left public accounting to join a manufacturing company in St. Louis, and I've worked there for about 2 years. I specialize in external reporting, which basically means I help prepare the quarterly and annual SEC filings, as well as some governmental reporting, and also review presentations for any sort of external reports. Personally, I'm an avid runner. I'm training for my first full marathon in October, which scares me to death. I'm also big into the outdoors, which means camping, hiking, fishing, going on excursions in my Jeep, all the fun stuff.
Thank you very much for that. Can you give us an idea of why you decided to pursue an advanced graduate degree?
I knew I wanted to further my career, and in order to do that, I would either have to get my MBA or go back and get my PhD. In getting my MBA, it makes me become a more well-rounded business professional. I know that I need to learn outside of just the realm of accounting. Marketing, supply chain, business management, strategy. Those are all areas that I really don't know a whole lot about, that I need to learn more to become a much better business professional in order to rise through the ranks in the corporate world. Now, in pursuing a PhD, that would be pursuing a passion of mine. In college, I did a lot of student teaching, and that was something that, I really enjoyed. And I knew if I'm going to go back and either do an MBA or a PhD, I'm going to have to take the GMAT.
That all makes great sense, and I think that's going to resonate very well with our viewers. Can you give us an idea, based on the universities you're interested in, the GMAT score you'd like to obtain?
I would like to get something in the 650 to 750 range.
You're definitely right on par. Knowing the universities that you're interested in, you're definitely going to have a high GMAT score. Can you touch on what you're most fearful of related to taking the GMAT?
I would say the verbal portion. I haven't visited certain grammatical concepts and rules since high school. There's also some math skills that I'm going to have to go back and brush up on.
Yeah, I completely understand that, and I think that's most everybody's fear, to be quite honest. Going into this GMAT preparation phase, on a scale of 1 to 10, how familiar are you with the content and concepts tested on the GMAT?
Honestly, like a 4. I'm not at all familiar with it.
Yeah, thanks for being honest with that assessment. I think most people are at about a 4 when they start this process. What are your expectations of a Veritas Prep GMAT prep course prior to taking the course?
To teach me the format and structure of the GMAT exam, as well as some tips and tricks on how to dissect the quantitative and verbal questions. Also to brush up on some concepts that I haven't looked at in a long time.
That's great. I definitely think that's most people's expectations. Now, you're taking a Veritas Prep online prep course that meets twice per week. How important is it to you that you have such a flexible prep course, and why?
Extremely important. I have a very busy schedule between work, training for a full marathon, visiting with friends and family on the weekends, and all other things that life has throwing at me. So flexibility is key.
Does it concern you at all that you're not meeting in a live in-person setting?
To be honest, a little. I've done self-study courses for the CPA exam and that seemed to work out pretty well, but never a live online course. So I'm not really sure how interactive it's going to be or how flexible the instructors are going to be to answer questions offline. So I guess we'll see.
What do you think is going to be your biggest struggle during the prep course process, and how are you planning to overcome that?
Just finding time to do the homework, watch the lessons, and do all the skill builder activities and stuff like that. I'm an avid planner, so I think I'm going to be able to prioritize my schedule and work things around, but it's going to be tough.
I think it's extremely important that you recognize that as a potential problem early on and you have a game plan in place. On average, how much time per day do you anticipate you will have to spend preparing for the GMAT over the next 6 weeks in order for you to obtain your desired score?
I'm estimating about a couple of hours a night a week. Now, some nights I may have to double down and not study the next night because of prior obligations, but overall, about a couple of hours a night a week.
2 hours is extremely manageable, and I think it's extremely important that you recognize up front that you might have to make up some hours on days where you can't quite get everything packed in. Now, lastly, I'll ask you this question now, and I'll ask it again after this process is all over. But do you think you would have a good chance of obtaining your desired score if you were to just self-prep? So if you were to just use study guides, not use a prep course, as opposed to taking a prep course?
Not to be overconfident, but I think on the self-study, the study guides and whatnot, I could do fairly well. Now, I've never attacked this before, so I really don't know what to expect. But again, I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
A sincere thanks goes out to Matt for going through this with us. This wraps up video 1 of a 4-video series. The next time that we're going to speak with Matt is going to be in 3 weeks. That'll be halfway through his Veritas Prep GMAT prep course. We're going to get insights into what he's gone through over the 3 weeks, what he's liked, what he doesn't like, how it's stacked up to his expectations, how he thinks he's going to need to adjust his studying going forward, whether or not he feels a prep course is right for him versus self-prepping. We're going to get a lot of great insights from Matt as he goes through this journey, and again, we can't thank him enough. Please join in for the next video session with Matt. It's going to be extremely insightful for all of you who are trying to decide what prep course you want to go with. For those of you wondering where to find the second video in this 4-video series, once that second video has been recorded, we will put a link underneath this video in the original blog posting to take you to that second video blog posting. So for every video that we do, there will be a separate blog posting or article that we do. You can also go to the general blog and you can search through there and you'll be able to find it that way as well. As you make your decisions for what prep course that you want to go with, please remember to utilize our links within testprepstore.com. At the end of the day, that's what helps keep this great resource available to all future test takers. Please also remember to share and like this via our social media buttons with your friends and family. They might be looking for test prep just like you. Thank you very much. We appreciate everything. If you have any questions, bring it to the blog or send us an email. Thank you.